Let me start with a simple question. How confident are you in your organization's account recovery process right now? Not your authentication controls, not your MFA rollout. I mean, the moment a user loses access completely, no phone, no authenticator, no passwordless credential. What happens next? Because in most organizations I've seen, that's where security quietly falls apart. Users get locked out, they call the help desk, and someone makes a judgment call under pressure about identity. That decision is often inconsistent, hard to audit, and vulnerable to manipulation. From an attacker's perspective, this is low effort, high reward. You don't break authentication, you bypass it through recovery. Now here's the part most organizations underestimate. This isn't just a security issue. It's a material cost problem. Between 20 and 50% of help desk calls are for password-related issues. Each reset costs around £70, $70 on average. So at scale, this becomes hundreds of thousands or millions per year, just to get people back into their accounts. This is exactly the problem Microsoft is starting to address with self-service account recovery in Entra. And what matters here isn't just the feature, it's the shift in thinking behind it. Before I break that down, I'm Andrew. I work in identity and access management, and I've spent a lot of time looking at where organizations lose control and lose efficiency in identity systems. And recovery sits right in the middle of both. In this video, I'm going to focus on the why this matters, and where the value really is. Then separately, I'll go deeper into the how in a technical series for practitioners. Let's break the business case down properly. Password resets are not a small part of help desk activity. They are a dominant workload driver. Up to 40% of all calls relate to credentials. Every one of those takes time, requires validation, creates delay, and costs money. Let's make this real. Take a 5,000 user organization. 2 to 4 resets per user per year. That's 10 to 20,000 reset events. At £70 per reset, that's between £700,000 and £1.4 million annually. And that's just direct cost. You also have waiting time, interrupted workflows, lost productivity. This becomes systemic operational drag. Self-service recovery changes this model completely. You move from human-driven, reactive, variable to automated, immediate, consistent. Organizations implementing this approach often see a 70 to 95% reduction in password-related calls. That's not incremental change. That's structural cost reduction. Now let's look at the security side, because this is just as important. Recovery is the moment where trust is re-established. If you get that wrong, everything else becomes irrelevant. What this capability improves: stronger identity verification, reduced reliance on human judgment, and controlled re-entry using temporary access pass. This is also where design matters, because poor implementation can reintroduce the same risks you're trying to remove. That's something I'll cover in depth in the technical series. Now let's talk about the commercial reality. This isn't free. You introduce verification providers, subscription models, service costs. But you're shifting from uncontrolled people-based cost to predictable service-based cost. So the real question is not, does this cost money? It's, is this cheaper and safer than what we do today? In most environments, the answer is yes. There are limitations. The output today is temporary access pass, not full credential restoration. So recovery is controlled, but not fully complete yet. So stepping back from all of this is not just a feature, it's a shift in how identity recovery is treated. If you're accountable for identity or security, these are the questions I'd be asking. How much are we spending on recovery? How confident are we in identity verification? And how exposed are we at that moment? In this video, I've focused on the why it matters, why the business case is strong. The next step is the how. I'll be launching a technical series covering architecture, deployment, design decisions, and how to do this properly. So if you're in a leadership role, evaluate this now and point your technical teams to that deeper content. This is one of the rare areas where you can reduce cost, improve security, and improve user experience at the same time. I'll be covering both the strategic view and the technical depth. If that's relevant to you, feel free to follow along. Thanks for watching.